Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game, once again by Bobby Fischer. Before starting this very interesting chess game, I would like to make a very short announcement. Unfortunately, I couldn't make any chess videos for the past 10 days. I abandoned you a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. But that's because I was extremely ill. So right now I feel much better, but it was a horrific experience. So it was terrible. So my voice is still a little ill, but I didn't make any chess videos for more than a week because of my condition. So I think you will understand. So sorry about that. Sorry for being absent. But this was the chess game that I was planning to show before I got terribly ill. So let's continue where I left. Okay, so this is one of the unknown and pretty interactive chess game of Bobby Fischer. And this time Bobby Fischer had the black pieces. So his opponent was a not very well-known chess master from Argentina, Jose Luis Agdamus. So Bobby Fischer had the black pieces and white. Actually, this is from the Buenos Aires chess tournament, which Bobby Fischer easily won this tournament without losing single chess game. So Bobby Fischer's opponent, Jose Agdamus, starts the game with d4, knight to f6, and we have Queen's Indian. Bishop to b7, f3, d5, charging at the center, exchanging the pawns, exchanging the knights, and then pushing the pawn, and it looks like white has solid center. Queen to d7, bishop to c4, and then g6, queen to b3, attacking on f7, so leaving the d pawn, but the f7 pawn is critical, so Bobby Fischer is defending with pushing the pawn, and white is defending the d pawn, knight to e2, and also developing. Bishop to g7, attacking again, and bishop to e3, developing and defending again. Knight to c6, and Bobby Fischer is increasing the pressure slowly, so attacking the pawn again, knight to c6, and it looks like white has a permanent static weakness on the d-file, so Bobby Fischer is increasing the pressure, rook to d1 and knight to a5. Actually, this was an interesting chess game, as Bobby Fischer plays in the style of Capablanca, simplifying the game, so forcing his opponent to go back, and then queen to c6, defending the bishop and exchanging the queens very early. So this looks like it is playing like Jose Raul Capablanca, winning without even trying. So we all know that Bobby Fischer admired Capablanca. So this d pawn and also this b pawn is looking weak. It looks weak. So both the d pawn and also the b pawn is looking very weak. So if pushing the pawn at the end of the day, capturing this pawn is also possible. So Bobby Fischer castled from the queen side. King to f2, connecting the rooks, and then Bobby Fischer wants to double the rooks. So b3, defending potentially, fixing the weakness, and then knight to c6, knight goes back and targeting that permanent weakness. Rook to d2, and both players are doubling on the d-file. Knight to b4, so attacking on a2, so defending, and then bishop to a6, another very important move. So attacking the defender, actually this bishop was not firing at anything, but now attacking one of the important key defenders. So a3, but after knight goes back, again targeting the pawn and capturing the knight is possible, and then capturing the pawn. So bishop to d3, defending. But if d5, for example, then after exchanging, at the end of the day, knight goes back, and this is another weak pawn. As you can see, the d pawn is looking even weaker. So this favors for black. So bishop to d3, exchanging the bishops, and then Bobby Fischer played a very strong move. He played f5, and if capturing the pawn, it is going to weaken the d pawn. So we have rook back. But let's quickly check out what happens if capturing the pawn. How would you recapture it in this position? Not with the e-pawn. That would make zero sense. Capturing back with the g-pawn so that black can push the e-pawn. And after pushing the pawn, actually this pawn is pinned. So it would favored for black. So f5 was also a very good move. Rook back and then targeting the weakness and how to defend. Pushing the pawn and then defending with the knight. But now bishop goes back and targeting a3. Targeting everything, targeting all these weaknesses. So it looks like this is a very difficult position. White is defending with everything that he has, but defending this is not very easy. So we have b4. But this created a weakness, a very important weakness on c4. Fischer played knight to c4, and where is the rook going? We have rook to a2. Well, if rook to d3, then knight to b2, forking the rooks. So this is not going to help. But in this position, after rook to a2, defending the a-pawn as well, what would you do if you had the black pieces? Black has a very strong move. Can you see the downside of rook to a2? Bobby Fischer played the move and his opponent is in big trouble. Okay, so Fischer played knight takes on e5. The d-pawn is pinned. Did you see this move? I hope you did. So we have rook to c2. Obviously, if capturing the knight, then rook takes on d1. And white can resign. So rook to c2 and then b5 by Bobby Fischer, another very important move. There is no need to move the knight because this pawn is pinned. And with this move, Bobby Fischer is going to support his knight. So he is planning to support his knight on c4. Knight to e2, knight to c4, rook to c3, and again defending the a-pawn. e5, executing this move at the perfect time. So we have f4, a desperate move. Of course, the d-pawn is pinned. So e takes on d4, rook takes, knight takes bishop, king takes on e3, and then simplifying the game in the style of Jose Raul Capablanca. Rook takes on d4, knight takes on d4. But it is black to move. Can you see the next move for black? Actually, black has a very strong move in this position. Okay, so Bobby Fischer played rook takes on d4, and after this move, Jose Agdamus resigned. Well, this is forcing his opponent to go to this terrible pawn endgame, which black wins. And actually, Jose Agdamus didn't want to test Bobby Fischer's pawn endgame skills. So it is quite elementary and basic for Bobby Fischer to win after this position. So if king takes on d6, then bishop to g7, and that's a skewer, and this pawn endgame is winning enough for black, which is quite instructive actually. So black is a pawn up, and black is easily winning in this position. So king to d7, king to d4, fighting for the opposition, but you can see that white is going to run out of moves. So g3, h6, and then g4. And in this position, h5 is a very strong move, so forcing white to make a decision. Capturing, and then after h4, it looks like white is getting to opposition, but after king to d7, forcing white to go back, king to d6, and black is getting to opposition. And this is easily winning after c5. Black can also play, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, king to d5, and that is also winning, but c5 is very strong. So capturing, and this is easily winning. Black is going to push the pawn, create a pass pawn, distract the king, and then collect the pawns and win in this very simple pawn endgame. So this was the beautiful chess game of Bobby Fischer. Not very well-known chess game, but so this is the final position. After rook takes on d4, white didn't even bother to capture the rook because this pawn endgame is winning for black. Black is a pawn up. So okay, I was very sick, so that's why I couldn't make any chess videos for the past 10 days. Thank you for your understanding and for your patience, and thank you for supporting my channel for all these years, and I will continue making chess videos as long as you continue watching my videos. So thank you so much again. Just stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you again. So take care and bye bye.